Dogs, sneezing, barbecuing during a blizzard. Here are 7 of the daddest things in video games. I could have done a list about the best dads in games, or the worst dads in games, or even the worst dads in games who are even more terrible sons. That's a list of 1, it's Heihachi Mishima. But I thought I'd talk about something more conceptual. This video won't focus exclusively on literal dads. Instead, we'll explore themes that speak to the father inside all of us, stuff that proves there's more to being a dad than actually siring a child. Things like asking for drill bits for your birthday, or not being able to see this time without thinking of dentists. And to guide us through this, I've decided to enlist the help of someone guilty of many of the things on this list. Me, an actual human dad. So pop on your amusing barbecue apron and prepare to fall asleep on the couch with excitement. Here are the daddest things you can do in games. An uneasy alliance exists between dads and dogs. Dads don't want dogs, at least not to begin with. They see a grim future of walks in terrible weather, chewed speakers and barking right at the most interesting part of a 6-hour documentary about flags. Conversely, dogs love dads. Even if it's your dog, chances are it'll be better friends with your dad than it is with you. The very same dad, remember, who didn't even want it in the first place. So if you've ever adopted a dog in a game, you've done a big old dad. If you've ever taken a selfie with Chop in GTA 5, dad. If you ever made dog meat stay put in Fallout just so he didn't accidentally get hurt, dad. But the daddest example of all of this is in Metal Gear Solid 5 when Venom Snake brings the orphaned D-Dog back to Mother Base. Suddenly, squads of hardened mercenary soldiers become obsessed with puppy paw pads. And Venom Snake himself, while initially lukewarm to the idea of a canine companion, utters the words every would-be dog owner wants to hear from their father.
Fine.
That's Dad for yes, we can have a dog. For the dedicated dad, terrible weather isn't a reason to cancel the barbecue, it's provocation. It's Mother Nature deliberately kicking over your camping mug before asking, how much do you really want that charred sausage instead of a normal inside meal? And the answer is always, shut up mum, almost enough to die, hold me, I have hypothermia. You see, cooking outdoors is an elemental experience, one where you feel an unbreakable connection to the pale blue dot that sustains us. And what better way to experience it than sat indoors, in the warm, safe from the rain and the hail and the ticks and the bears and whatever other horrors lurk in the long grass. If anything, there aren't nearly enough games that celebrate the E. coli avoiding poker game of cooking raw meat on a campfire. Are you even a dad unless you've stabbed a chop and burnt it to cinders on an open flame? Yes, of course you are. Please don't feel the need to prove yourself. Instead, just play Red Dead Redemption 2 and enjoy the simple, invigorating pleasure of flambéed mutton avec absolutely nothing. Hi Dad, yeah, it's Matt. I've missed the last bus home and I was just wondering if you could pick me up. You can? Oh, thank you, that's cool. There is one small thing though. I'm on an undiscovered planet in a different galaxy. It's one of the sort of green. It's one of the green ones. Cool. Okay, I'll see you in 10 minutes. No matter where you are or what time it is, a dad will always come to collect you. It's part of the dad code. We may tell the same anecdotes over and over. We may not be the best at packed lunches. We may tell the same anecdotes over and over. But we'll always come to collect you. Now, unless you're playing Bus Simulator, the best examples of this dad trait are usually displayed by NPCs. There's the reliably annoying Roman in GTA 4 who'll happily come and pick you up unless you're both too drunk to be driving. There's Alicia from Vermintide who'll patiently sit in her wagon despite the rat-based apocalypse going on around her, like your old man waiting to collect you from a hairy keg party. And perhaps best of all, there's Nico from Devil May Cry 5, who can apparently take her van anywhere, including literal hell, after one hurried call on a public phone. You get a dad stamp, you get a dad stamp, everyone gets a dad stamp. Well done. So yeah, follow the Odo River south, go left over the bridge, you'll see a mushroom that looks a little bit like my Aunt Maud's left elbow. Ignore that, it's got nothing to do with anything. Turn around 77 degrees counterclockwise and head south-southwest towards a patch of grass that's sort of a sage green. If it's more of a parakeet green, you've gone the wrong way. Sidestep right there and you can't miss it. Dads love to give directions. Nothing demonstrates mastery over physical spaces like remembering where things are and how to get there.
rock beats scissors, paper beats rock, spatial awareness beats countryside. The only problem is that nobody in the history of human civilization can follow more than 2 instructions. Okay. It's harder to find modern examples of this since most current games have helpful newfangled elements like quest markers that take all the challenge out of finding things. But go back to a game like Morrowind and you'll see this everywhere. Vague descriptions wafting you in the general direction of some buried treasure or hidden mine. It's no surprise then that the boxed game came with a highly detailed map. Good luck with your digital edition. Of course, you can learn this skill yourself by turning off the minimap and markers in a game like GTA 5. You can even go one step more dad and cautiously follow all the traffic laws. It's a wonderful, immersive way of getting completely lost in a realistic urban sprawl. Don't you just wish there was an Ask Directions button? No, you don't, because you're a dad and you'd sooner die than use it. Send your dad out with a shopping list and a number of things will happen. The first is overkill. Ask for a chicken sandwich and he'll come back with a 20kg turducken that resembles a Matryoshka doll made of smashed birds. But the dark bargain here is that he'll likely forget everything else on the list. But in the mind of the dad, it all balances out. The dad giveth, the dad forgetteth what you asketh. For the sake of simplicity, we'll call this getting sidetracked. We do this in games all the time. Who among us hasn't stepped away from saving the galaxy in Mass Effect so we can poke our nose into a stranger's very personal discussion about their unborn child? And which of us hasn't lost hours playing Pocket Circuit in Yakuza 0 instead of doing whatever it was we were supposed to be doing? Something about crime. Ooh, look, UFO catchers. Whee! If you've ever got so sidetracked in a game you can't even remember what it was you were supposed to be doing, then congratulations. This is the gaming equivalent of going out to buy bagels and coming back with 6 pints of albatross milk and a child's toy trumpet. Well dadded, you massive, massive dad. A classic dad has the ability to sleep through anything, anywhere. 1 minute they're mowing the lawn at 11:30 at night, to the next you find them asleep in a wheelbarrow with snails all over their face. Oh, dad. Any game with a fatigue mechanic has this. Out of Space, for example, lets you happily drift off while your spaceship is being overrun by giant insects and your crewmates are being cocooned. Try not to scream, Louise, it's a waste of your precious oxygen. This is also applicable in any game that lets you sleep outside at the press of a button. Who needs a nice warm bed when you can find an icy hillock in Skyrim? And you get extra dad points if watching all these people sleep is making you want to sleep as well. Night night, Henry. Of course, this naturally leads us to waking up. If, by some miracle, you do manage to rouse a sleeping dad, well, let's just say it's inadvisable. Oh, for God's sake, Jenny, I was in the middle of a great dream about being left alone so I could read about World War II. Why on earth did you wake me? Finally, we have sneezing. Now, obviously, sneezes do not belong exclusively to dads. It's the universal clarion call of the allergy, even dogs sneeze. But a dad sneeze is a thing of unique potency, a sound like a fleet of jet planes landing in a swimming pool full of drum kits. It's a noise that's evolved over millennia to protect the young and to scare away predators. I'll admit it's slightly harder to find examples from games. Dante's sneeze from Devil May Cry 3 might sound pathetic, but it has the destructive effects of a classic dad sneeze. Maybe they just used the wrong audio file. And Solid Snake even gets the sniffles in Metal Gear Solid, to the point he has to ask for cold medicine, a genetically engineered super soldier brought low by man flu. But to fully express the power and volume of a dad sneeze, we have to get creative and go back to our old favourite Skyrim. Because the closest thing to a mighty sneeze is, of course, the dragon Oh, I think I'm coming down with something. Hit that like button if you've given yourself an honorary dad stamp, and why not subscribe to the channel and ring the bell while you're at it. And let us know in the comments if your dad does any of these things. Thanks very much for watching.